Yes, sir. We back per usual. Doing this a little bit earlier. Market's still open. Market's about to close in like 15 minutes. But I'm gonna go over today's trade. I thought today's trade was a, well, I would say it was like an A. I would say it's A plus, but the only thing that was a grade in it is because we had S&T at highs and lows. We'll kind of go over that. But today was a fantastic trade, and even if I lost this trade, I still would have been okay with this trade. But we're gonna dissect it, and we're gonna go over that in this presentation. So, today is April 11th. Today we had PPI in the morning at 8:30, and I took one trade. So, framework for the trade. This is kind of like, I guess I should have had like the overall bias before, but basically we have these equal high. Look at these highs. Look at these highs on NQ. So market opens. I think market opened, yeah, on this candle right here, and then after that, like, look at these highs. These highs are way too clean. All of these highs are way too clean. So once we leave this, I'm just waiting. I'm just patient. At this time, I'm just patient. Like, I'm not even touching anything. I'm waiting. I don't know what price is gonna do here, so I'm just waiting. But as soon as we leave this area and we leave these highs, like in the stream, I was like, hey, I'm looking for possible manipulation here at these lows to then come up and take these highs. But we just left these lows. we just left these lows and then displaced through these lows, and now we left these highs. So I'm like, these are going to be potential targets. So that's what I'm looking at. So basically at open, or not at open, but PPI, we had this huge manipulation move. Yesterday we just sat within this range and we came down. We took these lows. Look at this. This was pretty much the opposite of what happened the other day. So we just had a reverse move. So we just had a manipulation, and then we distributed. We left this fair value gap. This is a 15-minute fair value gap, and that's also what we were bouncing off of in my trade. So we have an SMT at the lows, but actually I'm going to pull up the charts real quick just to show you guys as well. But basically at the time, we also did have an SMT at the highs because NQ has taken this high here. NQ has taken this high here, right here. NQ had taken that high like in the morning, but ES still had not taken that high. So we have an SMT at the highs and we have an SMT at the lows. So therefore, I got to be a little bit patient if I'm going to take a trade. But if we look at this on the 15-minute, let me pull this up. Oh. If we look at this, and we just end up ripping the rest of the day. We'll go on that later. But basically, this SMT tells me that, hey, price is more likely to go higher to equilibrium than it is to go to this, because this was the manipulation. So once I see this move to the downside, like, I'm not sold that we're going to this low, because this low is the manipulation. Does that make sense? Because this leg is the manipulation move and we get a big pump up. If this is the manipulation move, I know that we don't have to go lower. And we also have an SMT. And ES has taken this low. So ES does not need to go to this low. NQ does not need to go to this low. So NQ is stronger. So therefore, I would rather take a long on NQ. Okay. So let's get back into the trade. Manipulation move out the lows. That's where my head's at. We don't want to go to this low if this is if this is the manipulation leg. And the fact that we have left all these equal highs, that tells me that we probably want to go here. And look at this. We have bounced off. We're bouncing off equilibrium. This is a clear market maker buy model. Clear market maker buy model. This is what I've been studying. We come back in. We retrace back into equilibrium as well. That is the biggest confluence. Yesterday, I was really bad about myself for not using the fib. Or I think that was the other day. It was Tuesday. I was really mad at myself for not using the fib. And today, I was like, yeah, let's actually fix something. Let's actually use the fib. Let's pull out the fib. And that's what I was more attentive to, was the fib and the ranges. And that's what I need to be more attentive to in the future, is where we're at. Are we retracing the discount? Because this is simply just a retracement. This isn't, oh, we're going all the way to this low. This is just a retracement to pull back. Like, this is just loading up that slingshot to then go forward. Okay, reasons for price to go over. We still haven't met standard deviation yet. And what I mean by that is, I should have had pictures up here. Sorry, like, this is low-key a lackluster slideshow. But basically, from this manipulation leg here, tells me -2 to 2.5 that we want to go to equilibrium. If we respect -2 to 2.5, we want to go to equilibrium. That's where we are likely to draw to. So I was still looking for equilibrium to get met. I guess it did get met here on NQ, but it didn't get met on ES. So, like, there was reasons for price to go higher. I guess it was kind of like we already were in equilibrium. So this wasn't. Yeah, that's why I'm not saying this wasn't like an AAA plus setup, but I thought this was a pretty good setup because of that manipulation move. We still do have SMT at the lows and highs, so kind of a little bit patient. I want to see what price is going to do. Okay, the recent manipulation move is why I don't think price needs to go lower. This is key. This is why I don't think that we are going to go lower is because of that manipulation move. And then those equal highs just look way too clean. Those equal highs that we had within that range are just way too clean. I know that price is probably going to come back to that, and we're also bouncing off a 15-minute fair value gap. Whenever we are bouncing off of a higher time frame PD array and we are retracing to that fair value gap, that is most of the time, if not all the time, that is just a that's just a market maker buy or sell model. What's good? You green today? Yeah, I took one trade. And then notice this 5-minute candle. Notice the lack to go lower. And ES is also within equilibrium of that range. So of this range, NQ's just in discount. ES is in OTE. So that's also what kind of sold me on this. And then right here, the 1-minute candles are starting to slow down. We're starting to stop. We're not really displacing as much. Like notice this candle displacement, big candle on the downside, and now look at what the candles are doing. They're stopping. We have one candle that stops, and then we have a bullish candle here, and then we have another bullish candle here, and now this is kind of bearish. But what is this? This is the order block. And then we create a fair value gap. This is then when I enter. Right here. And honestly, what I could have done better is the fact that I entered without like a fair value gap. Like we could have just ran to the downside, but I really like these equal highs. I wasn't really trying to miss out on this move. I was saying that like times that we have like a reversal like this, like a sharp move like this into a fair value gap, into equilibrium of that fair value gap, that is showing me that once we have the sharp move and then we immediately come back and we start to disrespect this, that's when I enter here and I enter on the fair value gap. I guess I could have entered just all in on this fair value gap, just 2 contracts on this fair value gap, but I entered one contract here, targeting that original consolidation, letting my contracts do the work for me. And that's what happened. As you can see, price action was magnificent here. So what I like about the trade is that the stop, I put my stop in the valid place. Like here, I put my stop at this low. I'm not trying to put my stop here. I put my stop at this low because I know that if this is the reversal here, the stop at this low would validate this. I like this order block. I also like this fair value gap. And notice this high and this low here. That is perfect. That is perfect. Perfect price delivery right there. Also within the fair value gap. Immediately get bought up. Immediately have displacement higher. Then we have this candle downwards. And I'm still in the trade. And then we have this candle downwards. I'm still in the trade. And we have this. I'm still in the trade. And then we end up delivering to buy side. This was a good trade, in my opinion. Like, even if I end up getting stopped out here, I do like the fact that we're starting to slow down and then we're starting to reverse. We're starting to disrespect this fair value gap. And this fair value gap, to me, just feels like a manipulation. Like, this isn't real. Like, I know that we're probably going to run this because we're within that 15-minute fair value gap. We had that manipulation move at the lows. We have SMTs at the lows. So, therefore, like, we don't really need to head lower. We're also within equilibrium of that range. I like how the order block and the fair value gap are supporting price. Like I said, we had this order block and fair value gap both supporting price, and I like the fact that we're starting to slow down. That's looking for a retracement. We're bouncing off that 15-minute fair value gap, and we're in equilibrium of the range. And I like that I trusted the model, and I let the contracts do the work for me. I'm not panicking because we're starting to slow down. Like, I had a lot of people in the live today that were like, move stop. No, I'm just gonna keep my stop. I did move my stop to break even. I moved my stop to break even once we let's go over this. I moved my stop to break even. I don't know if I can find exactly, like, obviously if we rewatch the stream recording, I don't know exactly when I moved my stop to break even, but basically I moved my stop to break even around this time once we created this low here, because now this becomes the intermediate term low. And now this becomes a long-term low. Or, I don't know. I'm pretty sure this now becomes the intermediate-term low. I know this is for sure an intermediate-term low. So, I'm putting my stop here now. But here, I think this is the intermediate-term low. I'm not 100% because we have a short-term low here. And then we have a short-term low here. So, that makes this an intermediate-term low. And we're also support and price off this fair value gap. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that becomes the short-term low. So intermediate term low. So that's why I put my stop there. I move my stop to break even once we get this, and then once we start to displace, I now have a risk-free trade, and I like how I move my stop. And I'm going to show you guys the executions real quick. These are the executions. Only one trade today on the funded. As you can see, execution here, and then we have that sell too, and then rest of the day I didn't take anything. As you can see, the funded, I'm doing the my funded future still, and let me see. As you can see, the account balance, I'm like $137. This is just the eval. I'm playing it a little bit aggressive. I just took 2 contracts, and I'm just gonna take it slow. Like my funded futures, they reached out to me. They gave me a free eval to test their platform. I'm not doing the top step anymore just because my funded futures reached out to me and they gave me the free eval. So I'm gonna go with them instead of the top step because I'm not really trying to rush this. I'm not really trying to rush it. And let's get back to the slideshow. But basically, I was trusting the model, and I like that clean consolidation. That was so clean. What I think I could do better, maybe wait for the real entry. I will say as well, today I was trying to, I didn't want the trade to run without me. I didn't want the trade to run without me. So therefore, I placed one contract. I only did one. Originally, I was looking to have like 2 or maybe 3 contracts. But I only entered 1 contract, and then I waited. So therefore, I was waiting for. I was kind of antsy to get in the trade, and therefore I kind of rushed it. I kind of rushed the trade, but I still think that it wasn't a bad idea to maybe enter 1 contract, give myself a little bit of room on the stop, and therefore I can always add. And that's what I did. I added to the position. I had faith in the model, and I kind of got antsy that the trade was going to run without me, so I tried to get an entry. I just tried to get in the trade because I had faith in it. I had conviction with it, but sometimes I just need to slow down. So kind of what I want to stop doing is just trying to rush a trade, because sometimes when I rush a trade like today and like yesterday, or I think it was Tuesday, like today and Tuesday, there's usually a little bit better of an entry that if I just wait for a retracement, I'll get that better entry. So I was kind of antsy and I wanted to get the best trade. It wasn't a I don't really like that first entry. Screw that. I don't really like that first entry. I need to wait for that actual fair value gap entry. Once we come to that fair value gap, then I can enter. And also, I kind of want to try, or I don't know. I kind of have to build this conviction myself, and I have to maybe try this myself. But I think like taking partials wouldn't be a bad thing. But I don't really even see where I should even need to take partials here. That's the thing. Like there's not a place or a spot for me to really take partials. I mean, I guess maybe this high, but this is low resistance liquidity. Like clearly the draw is here, and clearly the draw is this high. So the draw is higher. So therefore, I thought that this wasn't bad that I didn't take partials. I didn't think that not taking partials was a bad thing. All right, overall, good trade. I can't get satisfied over this trade. This is just a blimp in my career. This is just one trade. If I zoom out of my whole career, like this is just one day, one trade. Okay, cool. You took a good trade. You won. Sometimes I'll get like euphoric that I took a win. Like, bro, I do not care. It's just a win. It's just a trade. Like, there's always gonna be another day. Like, if I get cocky, if I get say like big headed or whatever I wanted to try to say, if I get cocky and arrogant, it's just gonna come back and bite me in my ass. So I have to be consistent in what I'm looking for and holding myself accountable. 100%. I have to be consistent in what I'm looking for and holding myself accountable. I have to be consistent with what I'm looking for and holding myself accountable. Market maker buy model, market maker sell model. That is what I'm looking for. Original consolidation, I'm looking for us to target that original consolidation. That is what I am looking for. I'm not looking for no damn turtle soup entries anymore. I'm not doing that. That's just gonna cost me, and that's just going to make this journey a lot harder than it has to be. Are they going to make you pay the activation fee? No, they're not. I don't believe so. I don't think they would either. Don't get happy when you win once. So don't get It's just a trade. And I feel like I've been doing that recently to where like my trades, especially recently, like I'll take a loss and I think I did something bad, which maybe I did. I would say my losses recently I have been doing things bad, but like winning does not always mean you're doing something good. Like I've taken losses where I haven't really done anything bad, and then sometimes I haven't done anything bad, and I'll be like, oh man, this was such a bad trade, and then I start to second guess myself. But sometimes the trade just isn't gonna work out. Like not every trade's gonna work out. Not every trade's gonna work out. Like everyone loses, everyone takes losses. But the moment I think like losing is me doing something bad, like not all the time. Me losing is doing something bad. So that's what I gotta. That's what I gotta think about as well. That's all I really have. But that's the trade that I took. That's the trade that I took. Executions here. I took it on MNQ. The funded account. This is what the account balance we're at right now. I think my funded futures. Let me pull up my funded futures. My funded futures is oops. I don't know what the profit target is. I think it's 3,000. I think it might be more actually. Let's see. It's 6,000. Jeez. I got a long ways actually. That's crazy. Dang, I don't know if I even would want to promote. I don't know. Oh, that's 100K. Yeah, it's 3,000. I was like, what? I was like, what? I was like, hold up. I was like, what? Dang, everything's that's a good deal though. $50 a month for the 150K, like that's cool. That's cool. The 150K, that's what I like, and I'd be able to give away like I don't like they're a good platform. They're decent. They're decent. All right, yeah. Anyways, that's all I really have. I'll be back for the chart review. I don't know what time I'll do the chart review, so I guess I'll keep you guys updated. But I'll let you guys know in the Discord. But that was really the only trade I saw. That was really the only trade I saw. So I'm gonna go over that more in depth in the chart review. But yeah, that's the trade I took. Took a good trade. Took one trade. Took it up. On to the next day. On to the next day. Can't be satisfied. Can't be cocky either. So profit target, yeah, it's still 3,000. It's 3,000. So on the funded, I'm gonna play it a little slow. I know like technically I didn't have to pay for this, so I don't want to get comfortable either. Like I'm still gonna risk probably 2 to 3 micros, maybe 3 to 4, but I'm gonna play it safe. Play it patient. Like I'm in no need to get funded. I'm not in a rush to get funded. We're playing it safe. But anyways, I hopefully you all have a good rest of your day, and